Hey folks, welcome to another unboxing video on Wolfpain's Game 10. Today we're going to be taking the shrink off 8-Minute Empire Legends, a game designed by Ryan Laukat and published by Red Raven Games. Now for those of you not familiar with Ryan Laukat, he's pretty famous in the industry for doing a lot of the work behind putting out games, starting from design, development, the artwork, as well as sort of like the actual publishing itself. Red Raven Games is basically his company that he uses to put out these games. And if you have played any of his other games, and the predecessor to this one, 8-Minute Empire or anything else, you will immediately sense that the artwork has sort of like a common DNA that connects all of these games together, even though not all of them may necessarily be in the same universe, so to speak. But it really sort of like puts his DNA/fingerprint on these games as he puts them out. Now, this is sort of like a lighter area control, area majority sort of a game, and a bit of a sequel to 8-Minute Empire with some sort of like upgraded bits and components. Well, that might be the wrong way to put it, but it's sort of like a sequel of sorts to that one. And it's a game that can be played on its own. You don't need 8-Minute Empire to play this one. So without further ado, let's crack into it and see what we have inside the box. All right, so first things first, again, like I said, if you're familiar with any of other Ryan Laukat games, the artwork, art style, color palette would immediately be familiar to you. It really is, it's very good quality artwork that he usually puts in. He's very talented from that aspect. And this certainly does not feel like an exception in any way. Just looking at the cover itself, very attractive design overall. And looking at the back, it obviously gives you what the game is about. Build a small empire in a land of legends. We'll see obviously sort of like how that works out. And this also has an expansion, 8-Minute Empire Lost Lands. So we'll do an unboxing for that shortly after this one as well. Keep an eye out for that if that's something that's of interest to you. The game is designed to be played by 2 to 4 players and in roughly 8 to 20 minutes. So 8-Minute Empire, you can't really realistically play it in 8 minutes. You would need to play at a pace that really is not realistic or feasible. But generally speaking, if you play the full 4 players, you're looking at 20 to 30 minutes for gameplay, which is not bad and fairly reasonable. So as long as you go in with the expectation that it doesn't necessarily mean 8 minutes, you're not going to be unhappy at all with it. So obviously traditional inside of the lid, because this is a sort of like a smallish box. You're not going to find anything extravagant in here. Let's start by looking at the wooden pieces. And of course you have your standard cubes. Now these are wooden cubes, not plastic or anything of that sort. So you can sort of like make out the quality here. Pretty standard. If you've seen cubes in games, you've seen these ones, I'm pretty sure. So you get these in 4 different colors. White, gray, purple, green, teal, I guess. And then silicate gel, we don't really need that. And some other wooden pieces, and these look like these are divided by their color as well. Now, are these the same or are they different? They're the same. There's more sort of like 3 for each color by the look of things, but they all have this particular design going on, which is sort of feels like a castle on top of a mountain sort of a thing going on. But these are obviously broken down by player colors by the look of things. So we'll get these back in the bag. Next up, let's crack into the cards and see what we have inside. And the cards are going to be a big part of this game, from what I remember. So I'm hoping that we're going to have some good artwork on these. And judging by the back, there's a bit of a mixture of different kinds of cards in here. So let's see what's happening. So these are cards, some sort of a benefit action that you can do with these. From what I understand, one of the differences between this game and the original 8-Minute Empire is you can play with some of these characters in the game as well, which give you an added layer as far as gameplay is concerned. So here you have the Bandit King, and then you have your traditional action cards. Dire Ogre, Fairy Queen. Nice. And again, I'll quickly call out as we go through this. The artwork on these it looks very, very nice up close, and hopefully you can see that on the screen as well. The color palette, the aesthetics are really, really nice. It's yeah, I'm very happy with these. Again, did not expect anything less given the fact that you have Ryan Lockett's name on the box itself, but very happy with how these look. And they all seem to be unique because I don't think I've seen any repetition going on in here so far. Yeah, these are really, really nice, and stock quality is decent. The finish on this is quite good as well. I don't know if you can tell or not, it does seem to have sort of like a bit of a lovely finish on this. I don't know if it's the correct term for this is linen finish or matte finish or whatever that is, but it is quite nice. And yeah, so quality of the cards, artwork on the cards, top notch. Very happy with it. Let's crack into the rest of the box. And we have the rule book. Again, if you've played any of Red Raven's other games that have the similar box size, the design of the rulebook will feel familiar. My mind is immediately going to Artifact Inc. for some reason, and that rulebook had a similar feel to it as well. Hopefully it's easy to learn. It does seem Scorch text heavy versus the art. But again, not a very thick rule book, so hopefully it's easy to get into and pick up the rules for the game. So that's there. Now it looks like we have a punch board, and again, smallish pieces, just given sort of like the size of the game box, which kind of makes sense. These are punching out well enough. Well, this one is feels a bit stuck, but it's come out no harm, no foul, kind of a thing. And yeah. No complaints from me. Some of them seem to have sort of like, it just took a little bit of an extra push to get it out, but nothing's come on. And the end is, the end sort of like coming off is pretty clean. So pretty happy with these. Yeah, and thickness is decent, not too bad. No complaints there either. And then lastly, it looks like we have these boards. So basically these are double-sided, so if you can tell. And basically the idea is that you're going to lay these out in sort of like a T-shape format to form the main game board. From what I understand, so I've not played the original 8-Minute Empire, but I think that one came with the sort of like cards you would put together to form your play area, but this thing actually comes with these physical boards, so that's nice. Yeah. Nothing too fancy from an artwork perspective, but it's functional, looks good. And again, all things considered, it is a small box. So given the price point, given sort of like the scope of the game itself, very happy with it. Very happy with what I've seen in here so far. And that's pretty much it. That's everything you get in the box for 8-Minute Empire Legends. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that unboxing. And if you do want to check out the expansion, the link is going to be down there pretty soon, and we should have that up in a week or so time anyway. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you did enjoy the video, give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and in the meanwhile, hopefully you guys are doing well, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.